Good morning, everyone. Uh, so let's get started. Let me share the screen. I hope my screen is visible. Can any one of you confirm? Yes, Nadine. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So yesterday we have seen that how to create a Windows machine on AWS Cloud. Now we will quickly see how to create a Linux machine on AWS Cloud. So as you see on the dashboard, on the recently visited services, yesterday we have visited EC2, so it is showing it here. So you can either click it from here, or you can go to all services, go to compute, and then click on EC2, or you can simply type EC2 in the search bar. Anything is fine. Okay. Now on the left hand side, go to instances. So yesterday we created one Windows machine. After that, we have terminated the machine. So we don't see any entry here. Once you terminate a machine, after some time, the entry will be gone from this instance dashboard. Okay. So go on the top right hand side, you have an option of launching an instance. Click on launch instance now. So yesterday we gave the name Windows Server. Today we will give Linux Server, but again in real time you will not give names like this. Okay, we'll show you how the real time name appears. It is aligned with the project. Okay, so scroll down. AMIs yesterday I showed you, right? So now you can use. There are different Linux flavors or different companies that provide Linux operating system. You can choose any of these. At the moment, let's select Amazon Linux, which is in the quick start, or you can browse more AMIs. And here also you can see Amazon Linux, any other Linux, you can search it from here. Yesterday we searched for Windows. Now we will see Linux. Okay. So again, as we are doing it for practice purpose, just try to make it free as much as you can. So choose any operating system that is free tier eligible. Okay. So we will select the first option. Right. So scroll down. What instance type we are going to select? T2 micro or T1 micro. So T1 micro is having half GB of RAM and one CPU. T2 micro is having 1 GB of RAM and one CPU. So for better performance, we will choose T2 micro. Again, right now, make sure you select the free tier eligible option. Scroll down. Now, it is asking for a key pair. Yesterday, we saw that there was no key pair in the dropdown. What if I select on this? So we can see there is a Windows key pair, which we created yesterday. So if you want, you can use the same key pair, or you can create a new key pair. So let's create a new key pair for Linux. Okay. Now again, you have option of encryption, what type of encryption you need. So don't right now you don't need to get into more detail for what is this encryption options. Just choose the first one, and the second option is what type of key file format you want. So as we selected PEM yesterday, we will choose the same. Okay, and you can directly choose PPK, but recommended is PEM as of now. Okay, so now we have created the new key pair. In the drop down, now you can see the two key pairs. Scroll down. The networking section, as discussed yesterday, leave it default. Okay. Scroll down. The traffic, let it be from anywhere as of now. Don't touch anything. Scroll down. Yesterday it was 30 GB, which was minimum recommendation for Windows. Now it is 8 GB for Linux. So leave it like this. Okay. Don't touch the advanced details right now. Okay. So what we have done, we have entered the name of the server. We have choose the AMI. We have choose the instance type, and we have chosen the key pair. These are the four things we did on this page. On the right hand side, how many instances do you want? All right, as of now, I just want only one instance. If I write here two, I will be getting two instances with the same configuration. So right now I just need one instance. It will give you the selected details, the name of the AMI, the name of the instance type, okay, the security group that is going to be created. Okay. So it is saying new security group. We are not creating it manually. Let Amazon create it for us. Okay. So remember, yesterday we created one Windows machine, and today we are creating a Linux machine. We did not pass any kind of details inside the security. Okay. Now launch the instance. So successfully initiated the launch process. Now scroll down, go to view all instances. So this entry is here, and the status is pending. So again, once I select this server, let me uncheck. I'll check this box. So on the below dashboard, you can see some details. The instance ID, yesterday I showed you what is instance ID, the public IP address, the private IP address. Okay. So I hope you got the understanding of IP address yesterday. So we will be choosing public IP address as we are not in the network where the machine is. We are sitting in India, somewhere in India, and the machine is in US, North Virginia. Okay. Now scroll down. This is again private DNS and public DNS. So DNS is also a way to address the machine. You can say as host name as of now. If you don't have that understanding, don't worry. Slowly you will be learning all these things. Now scroll down. The AMI that you have used, everything is mentioned here. When was the instance launched? Okay, so the timing will be here. Most of the detail would be given in this bar. Okay, now it is running. Let's see what is the status check. It is dash. Let us refresh. So it is initialization. We have to wait unless it is successfully done. Two status check out of two. Okay. So you can go to status check on the bottom dashboard. Now it is showing system status check, that is initializing, and instance status check, that is initializing. So once the instance is in running status, you can attempt to connect it. Sometime you might be able to successfully connect it. Sometime it might fail. If it fails, just confirm what is the status check. If it is green, then you should be mostly able to connect it. Okay. So now how to connect? Again, on the top on the top of this bar, you see an option to connect. Click on that. Okay, EC2 instance connect is there, session manager is there, SSH client is there, EC2 serial console is there. So at the moment, just focus on SSH client. So this is the traditional way how you are going to connect. So open an SSH client. So yesterday we have opened an RDP client. Now it is saying SSH client. So why it is saying like this? Yesterday it was RDP, today it is SSH. It is because yesterday we have created a Windows machine. To connect to a Windows machine, we need an RDP client. To connect to a Linux machine, we need an SSH client. Okay, just remember this point. Then locate your private key. We have downloaded the private key file, right? Okay, and it is showing that this is the private key. It is also giving us the name. Then run this command if necessary. So this is needed when you are connecting via terminal. So if I open cmd command prompt on my machine, so this is terminal. So Linux, what we have created is a terminal based operating system. So for terminal based, we need something which is SSH client. Okay, so this command prompt is again, it can be used to connect to the Linux machine, but we will not be using this. For Windows, we will be using a software, a small utility called putty, or some people call it putty. So you can use that. There are a few other clients as well, but the common and mostly used client is putty. Okay, so you need to have putty, and then you can use this to connect. Okay, so this is the IP address 100.27.35.9, but it is giving in the form of the domain public DNS. Okay, so this is the process it gave. So I will show you in a simpler form how we are going to connect. So first we will be using putty. So let's say go to Google, download putty. So as Windows is a GUI based thing, for that you need RDP. Linux is going to be a terminal based thing. For that you need to have SSH. This is the difference. I'm repeating multiple times so that you have a good understanding about this. Okay. So now this is the website putty.org. Click on that. Then click on download putty. It will take you to this page. Search for, there will be many options. Search for putty.exe. Okay, executable file. Select this, it will download. Done. Okay, I have chosen the 64-bit x86. Okay, I need one more thing that is called as putty gen. Okay, so this is putty gen. I will again download the first one, puttygen.exe. So I have downloaded two small utilities. So as I told you, we need putty to connect. So why we have downloaded puttygen? So let me open putty first. I just clicked and it opened it for me. Okay. So what I will do, I will go to console. I will come back to instances. I will select this. Now, yesterday we have copied the public IP. I will show you this basic way. Copy the public IP like this, or you can hit this button. So if I hit this two squares, it will copy the IP address. Now I have copied the IP address. Now go here, paste it. Okay. Yesterday also we copied the IP address and pasted in the RDP client. Okay. And I will hit open. So first, it is showing the connectivity is established. If you want to accept and continue, yes. So now it is asking me for a username. So yesterday, while when we created the Windows machine, where did we get the username from? Okay, because there is no user called Rajesh, Rakesh, or Zubair, anything inside this. So this is the first time I created the machine. I will go back to console. I'll select this server. I will go to connect. Okay. Now scroll down. For example, it gave a username. SSH, some client. This is the keeper file that we need to use, and it gave a username ec2-user at the rate either IP address or DNS. Anything will work. So let me open a notepad. Okay. So what I have to do, I'll just show you the difference. Yesterday I did RDP. For that, I needed a key pair. Okay. I needed a username and I needed a password. Yesterday, these things we used, right? So by using key pair, basically we got the password. So I'll bring it here. Now, what I will do, I'm using SSH. Again, I need a username. Oh, sorry. One thing I missed. First thing, IP address. In SSH also, I need an IP address. SSH client, IP address, username, password, / key pair. Okay. So for SSH client, I have used the putty. IP address, I have got it from the console. For username, yesterday it was administrator. Now it is ec2-user. Based on the AMI, if you are using AMI provided by Amazon, or if you are using AMI called CentOS, a Linux operating system called Ubuntu, there are different, right? So based on that, you will get the username. So make sure you are using the correct username. And if you don't know what username you want to use, go here and type AWS. What was that? Amazon Linux. This was the operating system we used. Amazon Linux username. Okay. What is default username? Okay. So you have a lot of website that will give you some suggestions or answer. So manage your users. For Amazon Linux AMI, the username is ec2-user. What if I type Ubuntu? It is again another operating system of Linux in AWS. Okay. So the username is Ubuntu. For Fedora, it is ec2-user. Okay. For SUSE, for Fedora, it is either Fedora. Okay. And for SUSE Linux, it is ec2-user. So basically, you will Google it and you will get the username if you don't know. So as you are new, I will encourage you to take help of Google. So this is how you will learn how to search things in the project. You might face many challenges that are new to you or your team. So at that time, no company will stop you from searching on Google, because they are more focused on delivery rather than if you know this or not. Okay. So learn how to Google. Half of the problem is solved. Okay. I'll come back. So we have gathered the username. What is the username? ec2-user. ec2-user. So we can search it from Google, or basically Amazon itself will give you. Okay. What is the IP address? I'll go back to instances. What was the IP address? This was the IP address. I will copy the IP address. And what is the key pair? We know it is Linux key pair. Now we'll go back to this putty. The session got expired. I will right click on this and restart the session. Okay. What is the username? ec2-user. Dash or hyphen, both are the same thing. If I enter, it should either ask me for a password or a key pair, right? So it is saying no supported authentication methods available. So this utility is different from RDP utility. So this doesn't work the way used RDP. Okay, so I showed you this because many people face the challenges. They miss to use the key pair on the correct path. Okay, so hit OK. Now close this. Again, open putty. Okay, enter the IP address. Now go to, on the left hand side you have a menu. Just click on SSH, expand it. Okay, click on auth. My bad. Just a minute. Okay, can anyone of you guide me how to add this key pair to putty? Nadeem?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not use putty there.
Okay, no worries. So let's
I'll
see.
do it today.
No worries. So now we are stuck here. We don't know how to use it. Okay, so just go here on Google. How to add a key pair file in putty. Okay. Now, so they will give you how to add, how to import the key pair. Okay, I'm just looking for appropriate result. You can take help of YouTube as well. No worries. So in this video, this person is entering the IP address, then SSH, then auth. Okay, so the layout change actually. This putty software they updated. So basically, I wanted to see this option. Okay, so even I don't use putty, but I know this option is here. Now in this new version, it is not present, right? So we will have to find it. Just quickly, we'll try to explore. Okay, so if I clicked on the credential part, okay, so the intention was behind this was to show you the software gets upgraded or the UI gets changed time to time. This will happen for AWS as well and other softwares as well. So don't panic, try to Google or try to explore it. You will get the answer somehow. Okay.
Understood. This I have realized a lot of times the UI and these things dynamically changes.
Yeah. So for the people who are like beginning their journey in IT or some technical stuff, so never panic that the teacher showed something else and I'm not getting the same option. Okay, so try to explore, and while exploring you will build your skill. That is the only key to perform. Okay, so now private key file for authentication. Okay, browse it. Okay, then go to download folder where you have downloaded it. From drop down, choose all file if you don't see it. Okay, so now you will see all files and you have a Linux key pair file. Open it. I'm taking you through a long route, don't worry. I know the shortcut, but you will not be able to troubleshoot if I show you the shortcut. Okay,
No,
there
no,
is
this is most important. This is needed.
yeah, thank you. So now I have uploaded the key pair file which we downloaded. Now click on open. Okay, so it gave me some message, unable to use the key file that you have uploaded. Okay, so what is the reason? SSH to private key old PAM format. So that means somewhat error I will be getting. It is saying old PEM format, something like that. Okay, but still I will try EC2-user. This is my username. Now I will hit enter. Again, I got the same problem. Authentication was not successful. Authentication is nothing but the username and password. Okay, this is your username plus password. This combination should be perfect. Then only you will be bypassing the authentication. Okay, always keep in mind, if you see anything, any error related to authentication, make sure that you are using correct username or password. Okay, this is it. So in our case, we failed the authentication. Now what we will do again, we'll close this, okay, we'll come back to the home page. Now I will go back to PuttyGen, because Putty is a Windows based thing and it does not support PEM file. Macintosh and Linux, they support PEM file. Sorry, Kritika, please go ahead and ask your question. You can unmute yourself, Kritika. Okay, so it supports only PPK, not PEM. So what I have opened just now, I have opened PuttyGen that we have downloaded. Now go here and click on load. Go to download where you have downloaded it. Now again, all files, select your file, open, okay. Now save private key. It is asking if you want to enter a passphrase. So even if somebody gets this private key, you can put additional security to it by entering another password. So to open a key pair file, again, somebody needs to enter a password. So for some projects, you will have this kind of environment in the company. So first of all, the key pair file should be with you only. By chance, if somebody gets that file, so to bypass, they need to enter the password, which only you know. So as of now, we don't need it. Just click on yes, without a passphrase. I want to save this file. Okay. What was our file name? Linux server. I will make it the same name. You can change the name, no problem. Just I will remove the PEM. Okay. And hit save. Okay. Now what happened if I go to download folder? Okay. So now I got a file called PPK. So it had just 2 dot. I somehow missed to remove 1 dot. I will rename it. Okay. So now Linux Keeper PPK and Linux Keeper PEM. We have 2 different file name. Remember, if you are connecting from Linux, you need PEM. If you are connecting Windows from Windows, you need PPK. So where are we? We are on Windows. Now PuttyGen work is over. Now I will open Putty. Now I will copy the password, the IP address again from here. I will enter the IP address. Now go to SSH, go to authentication, browse it, click on credentials, hit on browse. Now you have key pair. Now you don't need to show all files, right? Because by default, it will try to detect PPK. So click on this, open. Okay. You can open from here. You can go here back to sessions. This was the previous page and you can save the session. Save it. So next time, if you want to open the same IP address with the same key pair and everything that you have stored, you can directly click here, load the session and open it. Now, did you see the error enabled or old PEM? No, right? Now I will enter the username ec2-user. See, I am inside the machine. I did not get any error. This is a representation of like a bird by Amazon for Amazon AMI. Okay, so don't worry about that. I hope till now it is clear. If anyone has any doubt, please raise your hand and ask. I'll allow you to talk. Yeah, Kritika, I already have. You can unmute and ask. Okay. So if no one has any doubt, we will proceed. So
Yeah.
this is, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, things are clear, but need to do just a practice once or twice.
Yes, and just to add something here, the sessions I have uploaded for for demonstration purpose for people who need recording. They need to buy a separate course with a minimal charge of 1,000 rupees. Um, this charge is for maintaining the platform and the storage, everything, right? However, you can attend the classes, the complete course for free. It's not a compulsion to buy that, but people who think that they need to go through the recordings to practice, it will be very helpful for them, and it is available for lifetime.
Sure.
Okay, so yep. So we are inside the Linux system. So we will explore more how Linux system works, because you all are familiar with Windows. Most of you have never used Linux, considering if you are beginner to this cloud area. So don't worry, I will try to make you familiar so that you can perform at least basic routine activities. And Linux itself is a different skill set. So the more you work on it, the more you practice, the more you go deeper inside it. Okay, I am also not an expert in Linux. Definitely, when I started, I did not even know what is this and all that. So after some time, or after some practice, I got the understanding, and I tried to replicate things. One thing for Linux, I will just give one line explanation. Don't watch a YouTube video for 8 hours or 9 hours. It will discourage you if you are new to Linux. So there are a lot of things, and you will get more confused. So always try to go step by step. I will explain you something, and I will give a higher level of activity to perform, so that you can replicate my teachings, plus you can explore a bit more, and you can come up with the result. After some days, I will give you some complex level of activity. This is the way you are going to learn. So we know what do we do in the corporate in real time. So we will try to give you that idea, so don't worry about that. Okay, now, so we are good, we are in the Linux system. I will just simple run some commands. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I showed you, right? Ls is to list. Suppose this is, I have opened a folder. What is there? Nothing. So I am just creating a directory or a folder, mkdir. The name of the directory is test. Enter. Okay, no error is there. So I will again ls, enter. So now you see there is a directory. Okay, so what is my present working directory? Pwd. It is some path, home. Inside that there is ec2 user. Okay, now I have to change the directory. So the way I have this here, if I click on any folder, so I am inside this folder. So on the top bar, you see a path, right? If I come back to downloads, if I click here, so this is the path. If I go to, if I move this folder, okay, so now you will see a path. Similarly, if I create a new folder called test, the same way we created a directory in Linux. Now, if I double click into the folder, I will go inside this folder. So now this is the path. So you observe the difference. The like one step inside we have gone. So you see, I will come back to the previous folder, and this will be the path. So same way it is in Linux. CD, that is double clicking on a folder, and the folder name test. Now type pwd. You will see this is the path, and this was the previous path. Okay, so we have moved inside one more folder or directory. Now try the habit of saying directory instead of folder. So Linux have files and directories. Windows has files and folders. Okay, so I hope this introduction to Linux machine creation, and just to have an hands-on, it is clear. If you know Linux, or if you want, just go and search for basic Linux command on Google. You will find multiple blogs. You can go through anyone and try to practice here. And don't worry if you miss on something. It's not a production machine. By practicing and by getting error and resolving, then only you will learn. If at all you did a disaster in this, don't you can come back. Okay, you can select this server, go to instance state and terminate. Okay, so this is how it works. Now before terminating this machine, if I miss to terminate in this lecture, I will terminate it afterwards. Don't worry, it's a simple process. Yesterday we did, right? So hit on terminate, it will delete this machine from your Amazon account. Now the other thing we need to understand is, in today's agenda, it was where it is. Okay, so okay, we create. Now we will understand IP address. We already covered yesterday. We will understand what are ports. Okay, and we'll try to have a look at security groups. So if we run out of time, don't worry. We will skip this part and continue it in the next lecture. So if you understand IP and IP address and ports, then only you will be able to understand this. Okay. So I'll quickly open. My bad. So now. Okay. So yesterday we saw IP addresses. Inside we have public and private. I hope you all remember public is private is the IP address for the computers which are in the same network. Okay, so as you call your brother or sister by nickname, so it is only understood by you people because you are in the same house. Similarly, the private IP is understood only by these computers. Some computer from outside, they want to connect, so they need a public IP. Yesterday we have seen this, right? And somebody from inside, they can connect it via private IP. Okay, I'm just making it simple. So this was the understanding of IP address. But what? So now we will understand ports. Okay, so this is your house. Hmm? This is the front door, the main door, which is your hall. Okay, here in the back side there is another door for kitchen. Okay, and let's say I'll give just two example. Okay, so now you have two people visiting to your house. One is your uncle or some guest. Okay, okay, and one is a maid. Okay, maid or a worker. So tell me where the guest will enter from and where the maid will enter from. Ajay, Anirudh, Akbar, Harshal. Yeah, Sanjana, just a minute. Yeah, you can unmute Sanjana. Don't worry. Okay, Ajay, can you unmute and ask? Anyone? I just want to make sure you people are following. Okay, no worries. So, yeah, please, Ajay, go ahead.
Just enter from hall, mail
Hmm?
from teacher.
Okay, yeah, guest will enter from hall and maid will enter from kitchen. Okay, you know the difference why it is happening, because they have a set of responsibility and they have certain permission, right? Um, the maid will not like in real time they can enter from hall as well, but it won't make sense, right? Maid will enter from kitchen, guest will not enter from kitchen at all. They will you would want guest to enter from hall only. So you have a purpose of this door. Okay, similarly in computer system, in one computer where you have an IP address already defined, right? So this is my computer. Okay, it has an IP address, and inside my computer I have some applications running. Okay, this is one application, this is second application, this is third application. So now what is happening? Now understand this. What is happening? So application means in so you have a computer, right? Your laptop. You have a browser. You have VLC media player. You have a game inside it. You have this Paint software. I have just downloaded Putty software. So these are different applications or utilities running inside a computer. In similar way, uh, in the production servers, you have multiple applications running. So we will not call software and all that. We will say application. So let's say there is a database application running here. Okay. So this is a database application. I have Oracle database installed and running. Also, I have a web server running here. Okay. Don't have to worry if you don't know these things. Just remember, web server is a different application, database is a different application. Okay. And I have something else like a, and yes, so what example should I give you? Let's say I have a software called uh, Nginx. So this is a proxy server. So this is running. So let's say any other application. Okay, don't some application. Okay, running. So I have three applications running. But what is my IP address? My IP address is something dot something dot something dot something. This is my IP address. So whenever a person connects to your computer, okay, so they need to have a door to enter from. Okay, so a person who wants to access your database, he will be entering from this door, let's say here. So he just should be able to access the database application. He should not be able to access the web server. Okay, and this person should be able to access only web server. He is coming from here. So how will you make sure? IP address is common. If you don't have different doors, if you have only one door here, so everyone will enter from this door and they will have access to everything. So this is not allowed. So instead, how it works is you will have different applications and you will have different entry points in your computer. IP address is same, but the entry point is different. So the combination itself will be uh, allowing any user or any other third party application to access the specific application. So for, let's say, okay, so this entry point, this door, they are called as ports. What are they called? Ports. Okay, so whenever you try to access a machine, you need two things. One is IP address, second is port. So the address of the house and a door from where you are going to enter, the entry point. So without this combination, you will not be able to enter the computer. So what did we do? We connected to a Linux machine just now, right? So we needed an IP address. Okay, so we got the IP address that was, let's say, 100.92.181.62. This was the IP address, for example. Okay, so I just entered the IP address yesterday and today I just entered the computer. So what Zubair is saying is wrong, right? So I never mentioned any port, correct? People might be having doubt. We connected to this Linux machine just now. We just gave the IP address. We did not mention any port. Okay. So if you have this confusion, I will just open another session, new session. I will enter the IP address, some IP address, 22.45.67.89. Okay, this is the IP address. But you see on the right hand side, this is called a port. I did not enter it. The putty was smart enough to understand that you are going to connect to a Linux machine. Basically it is an SSH client. So as for SSH, if you want to connect to a machine, the default port is 22. The default port is 22. So this was the combination. We never mentioned the port manually. It was considered implicitly. So if you are going to connect to a machine for SSH purpose, so the default port is 22 and the SSH client already took it. Yesterday we used RDP. So we gave some IP address, but we did not define a port, right? If you remember from yesterday's session, just go to any web browser, okay, RDP port. So it will give you the port number 3389. So 3389 is the port for RDP. And when we use the RDP client, by default, the port was taken implicitly. We don't need to provide it manually. Okay. So 3389. And if you type here SSH port, it will give you the answer 22. Okay. If you type database port, there is no solution to it because every database software has their own port number. So it is not giving you proper answer. But if you see in the suggested search, database port for MySQL, it is a database. Oracle is a database. Let's say what is the port number for Oracle? Okay. Okay. I'm no Oracle expert, but it is giving here, right? Oracle has multiple things. So everything has a default port number. If I see for MySQL, okay, this is the 3306 is the port number for MySQL. So if the database that I just mentioned here, if it is MySQL, so the port number is 3306. So somebody who wants to connect to this database, they need to give the IP address and this port number. Okay, so I hope IP address and port is clear. Now, quickly, we will see how the traffic works. Okay, how the traffic works. So this is my computer. Inside this, we have SSH, let's say simplicity, SSH. So that is port number 22. What is the IP address? Some IP address of this machine. Okay. Now, where am I? I'm sitting at my home in Hyderabad, right? This is my home. So I have to connect to this computer. Okay. So to connect there, first of all, I need the IP. I got the IP. I need the port number. I know the port number. But can I just connect like this? Okay. And somebody sitting in Mumbai, they also got the same detail IP and port number. So they are also connecting. Okay. Somebody they are also connecting from, let's say, Bangalore. Okay. So now when they request, they try to connect here, they have the IP address and port number, they try to connect, but what is the next step? Now they are here, right? So now they have to enter the credential. What is credential? The combination of username and password. At the moment, only I have this key. So only I will be able to successfully enter. You don't have that key, right? This request will fail, this request will fail. Okay. So credential is needed. After knowing the IP address and the port, then credential is needed. What if I remove the credential? Like I remove the password. Anyone who knows the username can enter. So they can enter. I have removed the security. Okay. So which is not advisable, but by default security is there. You need to enter the username and password. Okay. So I have this, I have entered. Okay. But understand this. You also have this. Okay. You also have this, and this person also have this. So let's say remove this. And now what I want to say is, where we are connecting, we got the address. This is the IP address where we are connecting. So just let me. So we will just make sure one thing is called as source, one thing is called as destination. Okay. So where are we going to connect? To our machine on Amazon. So yeah, this is AWS XXXX. This is the IP and this is the port 22. Okay. Where are we connecting from? So I am connecting from my home, right? So I might have some IP y.y.y.y. Okay. The person who is connecting from Bangalore, he also has an IP z.z.z.z. Hmm? So anyone is able to connect, but I don't want that. I want to restrict who is going to connect. Okay. So I have to make an entry. The person whose IP address is y.y.y.y, he can only connect to this. He can only connect to this. So if I make this entry in the security group, then this request will become successful and this request will fail. Even though you have the details, you have the username password, but the request will fail because I have made a rule inside the security group that only person who is trying to connect from y, they are allowed to enter. I'll give you one example. You okay? This is your house. This is your house. This is your door. Okay, but um, some people are visiting your house, so you want okay, so uh, you want some kids from school X. Okay, school X to visit okay the house, and you don't want kids from school Y to visit your house. You have some program or some celebration going on, so you don't want this. Okay, so how will you restrict? The door is open, right? So you will have somebody monitoring. They will check the iCard. If they are from school X, they are allowed. If they are from school Y, they are not allowed. Okay, so this is how you can add one more layer of security. First of all, they need to have an iCard. Okay, anyone having iCard will be allowed. First option is that, but I want to again specifically blocks or allow somebody. So I will say that people from school X, they are only allowed. People from other schools, they are not allowed. So I will have some person who will be checking this. Okay, so in terms of computer, there is no person. We have a set of security layer added that is called a security group. Security group. So I'll go back to our console. Okay, on the left hand side, you have this, right? Security group. So now see, we have three security group. One is default, one is launch wizard 1, one is launch wizard 2. So let's click on launch wizard 1. Okay, and I'll just make it. Now see inbound rule. Go to inbound rule. We will have a look at security group in detail in the next session, but just want to give an idea. So if you go to the inbound rule, you see RDP is there. Okay, 3389 is there, and source is 0.0.0.0. That means 0.0.0.0 means this person is not standing here. Like anyone will be allowed to enter. Okay, so I don't want to restrict um, different schools to enter my house or different schools to enter this program. So I don't want any person to stand here and check. So that means anyone can enter. So people coming from anywhere, 0.0.0.0/0 is typically anywhere. Okay, people coming from anywhere can enter the computer. Okay, so but if I want to restrict, so I can have people whose IP address is z.y.y.y.y, they can only enter, any other cannot enter. So if I put this entry instead of this, so only a specific set of people coming from this IP address will be allowed to enter. Okay, so in our case, what was the security group saying? Okay, it was saying people coming from anywhere trying to access this port. Okay, and okay, so how where is IP? So basically, in security group we don't mention the IP. We just create the security group and attach to one machine or multiple machine. So let's have a look in detail tomorrow. Tomorrow means in the next session. So just understand we need few things to mm, access certain thing. One is source, where the traffic or where the request is coming from, on what port this request is coming. Okay, instead of IP address of the destination, we will modify this approach a bit while using the security group. But for you to connect, you need IP address and port. Understand this. Okay, so I hope the port and IP address concept is clear. The security group I will refer to SG. We will explore in detail in the next session. Any doubt, anyone? Like we'll stop here for today. But anyone, any doubt? Please ask. It's hard to believe that everyone understood very smoothly. No doubt. Okay, then we'll update about the next session in the group. Uh, we don't have a weekend class. It will be on Monday, but we'll update you. Okay, and have a good day. If anyone wants to go through the recording, they can just simply go to this. I'll just open this. Okay. Go to our website. Okay, log in. I'm logged in. Go to dashboard or go to the courses. Go to CS batch 101 AWS Cloud. This is your batch code. Click on this. Okay, and you will be seeing a buy option here. It is a very nominal amount, 1,000 rupees. Here, all the recordings will be uploaded from now onwards. Log in or go to courses. Click here and buy the course. Okay, enter your details, your email address and everything. So you will have the access to course for lifetime. It is, again, it's not a compulsion. But we would recommend you to purchase this so that you can practice efficiently. Okay, then. Wish you all the very best. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Bye.